Now, the next 3 or 4 of these are things that people generally aren't aware of. Investment banks, private equity funds, hedge funds, those are normally business page phrases that people gloss over and they don't really know. It's where people like myself come in. I'm certainly not alone in the industry. I am the best looking, but there are tremendous dollars out there that are available for investment, but you need to know where to look. And you need to know how to present to these particular groups. There are investments. Anybody heard of Blackstone?
Yes.
Greenlight Capital? Okay. Greenlight, 40 billion under management. Blackstone, I think, is it Blackstone? May not be them. There's one of these companies manages $17 trillion. Okay, that's the economies of most of the rest of the world. They have a lot of money under management. They're looking to deploy that money, and they have the ability to deploy it in virtually any industry. Private equity funds. A private equity fund could be Maggie, David, me, Roger, pooling our money together and say, well, we're a private equity fund and now we'll go invest. Technically, you could do that. But a private equity fund is just that. It's private money, maybe family office capital. And again, there are there are trillions of dollars of this available. Now, the key is finding out, who do I talk to? How do I present? Below that is probably one of the most popular new things, and actually Derek is testing this now in attempting to crowdfund. There are, I won't say millions, but I bet there are thousands of crowdfunding sites out there. What's a crowdfunding site? Basically, you put your idea out there and say, hey, invest in me. Now, each different site will have its own set of rules. There are some that are nonprofit. There are some where you have to produce some things. There's one called Indiegogo, which is basically for movies, people trying to raise money for independent movies. So you need to really know what you're in for there. And they have very specific rules on how much money you can try and attract, what you can use the money for, and what happens if you don't meet your goal. But this is something that more and more people are turning to, and you'll see a lot of young people, because they tend to be much more technically savvy than people my age, but they will look for these sites and see if there is an opportunity to grow some capital there. After that, you have things like unsecured business lines of credit. Well, that sounds great. You mean you're going to lend me some money with no collateral except my good name? Yes. And it doesn't have to be expensive, but what it does require is good credit. And like a lot of banks, people will always say, you know, when do banks want to lend you money? When you don't need it. When you need it, they don't want to lend it. If you have a very good credit profile and you have a business that is cash flowing, and I don't mean that it has to be cash flowing phenomenally, but if it's cash flowing and you have the capacity to repay, an unsecured business line of credit may be the way to go. And some of those unsecured lines of credit can start at 0%. Okay? After a certain period of time, maybe you're at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10%, whatever the number is, you're not at 25 unless you default. But again, they're there and they can be used, but your credit profile needs to be sound.